move now to the leader of the Conservative Party. Are you going to promise for the hundreds of Francophone children who can't find a spot in a school because there's not enough French schools being built outside of Quebec? Are you going to support the building of French-speaking schools? Thank you for asking that question. I was in Calgary, and I lived in Calgary as a child, and I went to French immersion. So this is something that is dear to my heart. Obviously, school is and education is a provincial purview, and it is up to the provinces to decide where schools are built and how and when. But of course, I am willing to work with the provinces to make sure that funds are available. There was an announcement that I had made a while ago about an immersion program, which would allow teens to go to Quebec in areas such as the Saguenay or in other places where there is a really big concentration of French, and basically you have no other option but to speak French there. I did this in UQAC when I was about 20 years old, and I think that I did say I wanted to double this program so that young Anglophones could travel to Quebec, do a complete immersion, and really master the French language. Thank you. So follow up on immigration, Francophone immigration outside of Quebec. Mr. Carney announced his target, 10 to 12%. What is the target you are proposing for French immigration outside Quebec? This seems to be a perfectly reasonable figure, and I do agree with him. Our party has already said that we agree with the idea of increasing the number of French-speaking immigrants, including outside of the province of Quebec, in order to be able to add some more French demographics to the rest of Canada. So we will work in collaboration with the communities and for French-speaking immigrants who want to make Canada their home.
Sheila Gunn-Reid for Rebel News.
Yes.
We've seen the NDP tonight refuse to take questions from independent journalists. The Liberals have gone one step further. The Carney campaign has called the police on independent journalists. Trudeau before that brought in C-18, C-11. The Liberals are promising a revamped version of the Online Harms Act. What would a Conservative government do to ensure the independence of the press and protect Canadians' right to have access to information and hold their politicians to account?
We are the only party that's willing to protect freedom of the press, of all the media, and we will also repeal C-11, the censorship law. We will remove the censorship of Canadian news on web platforms like Facebook and Instagram, we will fight back against any kind of Orwellian online censorship law like the one that the previous Liberal government instituted. It was designed to create the possibility of preemptive arrests of people, where you could be arrested if you were suspected of sometime in the future planning to say something harmful online. You could be under a peace bond. I mean, it really is Orwellian. And I note that many people across the spectrum have spoken out against this censorship. Even someone like Margaret Atwood, not known to be a conservative, has said that this kind of censorship is not only bad for democracy, but inhibits artistic expression. So I stand for free speech, and we will respect the right of Canadians to have access to the media that they choose.
My follow-up, Canada's suffering the most violent anti-Semitic crime wave in history.
Yes.
There have been shootings, firebombings, even a riot right here in Montreal. But not all of this anti-Semitic hatred and incitement rises to the high level of a criminal code offense. Do you believe that foreign nationals, that is, people who are not Canadian citizens, should be deported for participating in these hate marches or other pro-Hamas activities that don't rise to the level of a crime?
Well, what I have said is when there is a crime involved, including crimes of vandalism, that visitors to Canada should be deported. You simply can't come here and firebomb a Jewish bakery or someone's home or smash windows out of a political riot and expect to stay in this country if you are on a visitor visa. We will be bringing in tougher laws to penalize those who are permanent residents and citizens who break laws and harm our communities. But look, this is the disintegration we have witnessed after the lost Liberal decade. Everybody is divided. This group is divided against that group. There is crime and chaos in our streets. The Liberals have promoted this division by saying one thing to one group and then exactly the opposite to a different group. We had a tradition in this country before this government where you could come from places, the conflict-ridden places in the world, and you would leave the fight behind. You might have a debate about the politics of that place when you sat down in a coffee shop in Montreal or Toronto, but it never overflowed into street violence. We need to get back to that. You should know, we welcome people to this country. Sure, bring your culture, bring your traditions, bring your family, but do not bring foreign conflicts onto our streets. We're going to have peaceful streets again, and we're going to be united. All of us should consider ourselves Canadian first and put foreign divisions behind us.
Thank you for taking my question.
Thank you.
Please keep your questions.
Questions in French, please.
Christopher Curtis, the Rover.
Monsieur Poilievre, Mr. Jagmeet Singh today qualified what is happening in Gaza as a genocide. I understand this is probably not your opinion, but because the Israeli government has talked about emptying Gaza, getting rid of all Palestinians, do you think that, could you call this ethnic cleansing at any rate? Are you allowed to criticize Israelis? Well, I think we can criticize anybody, but let's not forget that before attacking Israel without any provocation, and with the mission of killing the maximum number of civilians, Israel had already ceded Gaza. So it was a Hamas invasion, a non-provoked invasion. And unfortunately, the Palestinians are suffering greatly, but the blame rests with Hamas. They are trying to prolong this conflict. So I reject Mr. Singh's proposals or his statements. We will stay faithful, loyal to our allies who combat terrorism. Yes, but each university has been bombed in Gaza. There are no more hospitals. There's no more help for the people who need it. Can you possibly criticize Israel even a little bit? Do you think that they have done everything correctly so far? In a situation where there is a terrorist group that crosses your borders and deliberately targets women, children, and civilians, a country has no other choice but to defend itself. Should such a country make every possible effort to avoid other tragedies among the civilians? Of course. The thing is, Hamas is trying to position itself in such a way as they maximize Palestinian civilian deaths. Hamas started the war, and it's Hamas and other terrorist groups of the kind that are maximizing Palestinian suffering. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thanks, everyone.